Hey guys, so I just wanted to give a quick heads up. I did record this with my iPhone. Obviously, setting up a new tank, especially one as expensive and large as this one, comes with its costs. So I just wanted to get something up for you guys really quickly. I know a lot of you guys came over from Reddit last week, and I mentioned that I'd have something up, over the weekend. Life got in the way, so I owe you guys a video. I really wanted, get myself started, so I just kind of recorded with my phone. And then in terms of the editing software I'm using, it's kind of, it's nothing fancy. I'm looking into, what program is the best in terms of what when I end up paying for it. This video is kind of just thrown together. It's not my best work, I promise. But I really did want to get something up for you guys and, get this thing started. So I hope you guys enjoy, nevertheless. I hope you guys, can power through it. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy. What's going on, Reefers? How you guys doing today? Behind me, started the aquascape for the new Waterbox 180. Should be coming in a couple days, so I just wanted to kind of get the scape going a little bit. I'm still waiting on some more, some larger pieces of rock to come in from BRS. But as soon as they get here, I'll be able to kind of put everything together. But I'm just trying to get ahead of it, so I can kind of start cycling some of the rock at least. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of do a quick tour of the existing system. I know, some people on Reddit expressed interest in seeing, what we already have going on. So I just kind of wanted to go through it really quick and yeah, let's get right into it. So as you guys can see, it's pretty dirty. I was actually thinking about changing my channel name to Dirty Reefer, just because, you can see how dirty this tank is, and it's not really from lack of care so much as it's just setting up the new tank, setting up the new system, getting all that stuff, ordered and planned out and stuff. It's just kind of taking a priority. I know, don't count your chickens till they hatch. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's always exciting getting a new system, getting a really nice system. And obviously I kind of put what we already have on the back burner, but we do have some nice corals. We have some stuff that I'm really excited to take over and just kind of see it explode. I've seen some pretty decent growth in the last couple of weeks, to be honest. My euphyllias are as puffy as ever. I'm waiting for them to sprout some new heads, and a couple of them are walls, like the nice frog spawn. The big frog spawn is a wall, and that bluish hammer is a wall hammer as well. So I'm kind of just excited to see how they grow. I do need to kind of mount them to the rocks. They're kind of just sitting on the rocks all smushed together. Excuse me, I wasn't in frame there. But yeah, it's disorganized, it's messy. I have a design kind of in mind for what we're going to carry over to the new tank, and how we're going to mount everything and set everything up, and I'm really excited to put it together and kind of make it happen. The issue with this setup right now is that there's just, it's an issue for me, but I'll show you guys. There's so much rock. There's so much rockscape, and especially over here, you can kind of see, hold on, I hope you guys can see, like just how much rock there is. There's so much space for the fish to hide, you know, fish to go down there and you never see them again. You can't pull their bodies out if something happens to them. And it's really not open. It kind of makes the tank look a little bit smaller in my opinion. Especially the fact that I have all this space up here, but the tank really was never ready for acros or SPS. You can see I tried one right there. I hope you guys can see it, I really do. I tried an acro right there. Luckily it was, you know, free, but it ended up browning out pretty quickly. You know, all that space up there, all the space up top there, it just, I don't know, it just kind of sucks that we have all this space up here, you know, where we can't put LPS, where we, you know, I have mushrooms and I have zoas and stuff, but, you know, they're not going to thrive up there because that's too much light for them. You know, because of all that, I really want to do a more dialed back scape. You know, I'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek of what I'm working on. Something that I really want to do is kind of incorporate these like two big rocks and then a big archway going through them, and that's where we're going to put, you know, SPS. And I'm not going to lie, you know, I've totally stolen that concept from, you know, other reefers who have been kind enough to share their scapes and kind enough to, you know, post their scapes online and stuff like that. To be honest, aquascaping isn't something I enjoy. So I've definitely looked to the internet for a lot of inspiration. And like I said, I do want to do, you know, more open space, more open concepts. So the, you know, like when you look at this, you see more rock than you see corals. You know, you see more rock than anything else. And you know, the fish, they have so much space to hide. So down here, I have the kind of the scape mapped out. I'll kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to put together here. So this right here, I'm going to expand it a little bit. I'm thinking, or I'll make it a little bit thicker up top. But it's going to sit on a large foundation piece, you know, a big piece that sits in the sand. And this is going to kind of stick out a little bit. And it's gonna be kind of like an archway into another, you know, probably smaller little island. And I'm thinking, you know, like some smaller LPS all around the base, you know, and then we can put some zoas and stuff on the arch and kind of have it as a zoa bridge. I have this nice archway here, and I'm thinking that's where the SPS is gonna go. Again, you know, this is kind of an idea that I've ripped off the internet, but you know, like we could plot down some cool little SPS there and let it grow into colonies. The thing is with this piece though, is it's really bulky, and it kind of has some weird like jut outs. I like it, but at the same time I don't. I feel like it's really bulky, and it's gonna have to sit on some bulky rocks, which I don't really have. I mean, there's so much rock in this tank that I feel like it's just silly to go out and buy more rock, you know. I do have an aptasia problem, so what I've been doing is periodically, like this structure right here was a lot rockier. There were kind of rocks like all the way up there, and I pulled a couple out and just kind of let them dry for about 6 hours. Just kind of let them dry on a towel. Any crevices that were, you know, kind of deeper within the rock piece, and any aptasia sitting on the surface, I took a blowtorch to. I kind of tried to burn the aptasia out. I've read online that's actually a pretty effective method of getting rid of aptasia. You know, anytime you dry a rock out, there's always the chance that the aptasia is going to survive. Aptasia is just one of those creatures that is absolutely resistant to just about anything you throw at it. So we're gonna kind of see how that worked out. You know, I think for the most part I'm gonna put, well, I don't know. We're gonna kind of test it out, put it in some water and see if the aptasia kind of survived and will reinflate themselves or something. This tank does have an aptasia problem, like I said, and you know, that's why I'm kind of hesitant to take some of this rock. You know, any pieces that I think fit with the design and you know, aren't just completely riddled with aptasia, you know, we'll definitely take that and kind of do some treatment to it and see, you know, if we can save it. I also, you know, there's a lot of pieces in here that don't have aptasia on it, and I definitely want to move those over to the tank, just because, you know, that live rock aspect of it is really going to help our cycle. The plan is to have all the corals in the tank preferably a week to 2 weeks after the cycle begins.
I know that's risky, especially with some more sensitive ones like the clam, the wall euphilia, and the anemones. I know that's pretty risky. So we're gonna start obviously with the more hardy stuff, and maybe some cheaper, like a cheaper A-can or something like that, and just kind of test it out, see how it does. If it does well, if it succeeds in there, then we can absolutely start moving some of the more risky corals over. But we definitely want to see test out the water, make sure the parameters are good, and then if everything indicates that we'll be able to move the corals over, then that's the plan. But I mean, you should know, anytime you're cycling a tank, anytime you're starting a new tank, nothing goes to plan. At some point, everything that can fail will fail. We all run into major issues, and that's something I'm just kind of mentally prepared for. I know it's not going to be perfect. I know, once I get it set up and once I start moving stuff over, we'll probably see some loss. We'll probably see some coral pieces die. And it's a shame, because I really don't want to rehome any of this stuff. The market in my area is pretty bad. People are gonna shoot you, for a piece that would sell for $200 in the store, they'll offer you $40 online, and it's I don't know. The area sucks for reselling and stuff like that. And with the new tank coming up so soon, and the fact that selling that tank is gonna kind of help fund the new tank financially, we just have to kind of timeline all this out, make sure the schedule's good. So yeah, in any case, I guess I'll show you guys the sump of the system. It's so I guess I can dive into some more information about this actual system. So past the coral, past the livestock, this system came to me with, I'll show you, this filter right here, this hang on the back filter. That's what the system came with. It didn't come with a sump. It's not drilled. I bought it off OfferUp from a guy who was selling it pretty cheap. At the time, I was a freshwater scrub. I only had a single freshwater tank. I didn't plan on getting into saltwater. I really planned on only keeping it at one tank as well. But every time I go into the fish stores, I just was discouraged by how little or how few options there were for freshwater people. You can do a planted tank. Yeah, you can do some pretty cool designs with freshwater tanks. But at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, and this is a very opinionated topic, but in my opinion, you really can't beat the aesthetic of a reef tank. I mean, you can never get these colors in a freshwater tank. You can never get some of the fish colors in here are just absolutely magnificent. You can't get anything like a filefish in freshwater. Cool yellow chorus wrasse. There's a red chorus wrasse in there somewhere. Some crazy angels. You really can't beat that, in my opinion. I ended up buying that tank off of someone off of a reselling app for pretty cheap, and we took it home. I plugged in the filter. Everything was pretty good. The only coral in the tank was pulsing xenia, and I think there were only 5 fish in there. There were 2 clowns, plain ocellaris, 2 black and white damsels, which are actually still in here, and a starry blenny. But as I got more into it, I kind of realized, I'm not gonna achieve my results, especially as a newer person in the hobby, I'm not gonna achieve my results with a hang on the back filter and a skimmer rated for 40 gallons. So I ended up going to the store and I picked up this hang on the back overflow. You can see only one of the tubes is actually going, because it just pumps out so much water, and I literally cannot find a pump that's of reasonable price that will return as much water as the overflow pulls in. So I'm not really deeply concerned about that. I have a feeling that it's pulling down 2,800 gallons per hour, which is well over more than enough what we need filtered. So probably 30-gallon breeder, and someone had rigged it with, I don't know how well you can see, actually I don't even know how well you can hear, but someone rigged it with those baffles down there, and it really doesn't work well at all. You can see the water goes over this baffle. There's no lid for the filter sock, and no matter how much stuff I take out of that first compartment, it always overflows. And There's no bubble trap down there, which wasn't really a huge issue. I'm able to kind of put some sponges there to kind of catch it. But yeah, well, I got this sump, and I kind of just pieced it all together, and that was kind of the theme of the tank, you know, unintentionally piece it all together, you know, DIY a lot of it. And that's what we did. And I DIY'd kind of a refugium, you know, I don't know, I'll show you guys the little refugium. And it's totally impractical. I doubt it really does anything, but I have this little light strip down there, and then there's one up there as well. And there's actually Calerva in the filter stock. I don't want to pull out the filter stock right now and show you all, but nitrates are probably at like 30 right now. That came from, you know, inadequate filtration, as well as the fact that I overfed, you know, as probably most newbies do. But a big thing I'm really excited about moving over to the new tank is that really nice, kind of like almost professionally done sump. You know, actually professionally done sump. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you guys kind of get a sense of, you know, what I'm excited about for this new tank. Hopefully I can kind of teach you guys some things too. You know, if you're newer to the hobby, I definitely really want to kind of put out some tips and, you know, share some of my experiences with things as a relatively newer person in the hobby as well. And if you're, you know, more established in the hobby, you have that knowledge base, then I hope you'll stick around and see what I do with this tank. You know, give me some feedback, give me some pointers and stuff. If you see me doing something totally wrong, then, you know, absolutely yell at me. But yeah, I mean, drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, leave a comment if you have some feedback. If, you know, this is probably the first YouTube video I've recorded since I was 12. So, you know, I appreciate everybody, and I hope you all have a good day.